Okay, hi everyone, Alex here. Namaste, Om Swastiastu. It's a very big honor to be here to tell you all about the process that I guide people to. I want you to understand the thought process, the intention, and appreciate the magic of your breath. So, when we are young, we don't have the mental capacity to distance ourselves from our environment. We receive everything as truth, we receive everything as love. So, unfortunately, whatever we receive that is not nourishing, we take it personal. So, that's why we grow up full of wounds, full of scars, because we don't feel good enough. We haven't been loved the way we should have been loved. We shouldn't haven't been seen, heard, taken care of, and we just carry those wounds. And all we do throughout our whole life is try to heal. And what does mean healing means? It means return to wholeness. We want to go back to our beautiful self, our essential self, not this second nature, this personality that we've acquired, developed as an adaptive mechanism to survive in this world. So that's why we want to make money. That's why we want to be famous. That's why we need approval from our partners. That's why we are triggered. Whenever we're triggered, is something small has come into our field and has a huge ripple effect inside. And why it has such a ripple effect? Because it's attached to the past, attached to a very deep wounds, often related to our prime caretakers. So here is the idea. How do we come back to wholeness? How do we heal? Well, we heal by creating distance, developing awareness, being able to be curious about ourselves, being able to witness what's going on without trying to suppress, without trying to feel, oh my God, I don't want to be this person. I don't want to be jealous. I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be resentful. I just want to be full of peace and love and harmony. Well, it doesn't work that way. That's the wrong approach. The right approach is to be like a child and welcome all our little inner children, our little parts that have been wounded, and then they are just coming out in a dysfunctional way by being aggressive, possessive, all the things we do that we wish we were not doing that are really hurting us, but that are actually a big part of who we are. Who we are is just a response to our environment. So we need to come back to wholeness. We need to heal so that we can feel freedom, liberation, that we're no longer attached to relationships. We're not attached to success, to fame, to outer validation of any kind, so that we can just feel this inner harmony, this peace within. And that's where breathwork comes in. So when we've experienced all those distance from the self, this disconnection, it's often associated with breath holds. And as we go up in life, often what we will see is people with dysfunctional breathing patterns. They've been distant from their self, distant from their breath. So all we do is not rocket science, is bring people back to their breath. And the breath becomes the gateway to access the self. Let's breathe. So, how does it work? When we breathe in a connected way without pausing on the inhale, pausing on the exhale, we bring back energy in the body, we bring back the breath in the body. This flow of energy will get us to access stored emotions that have been buried under muscular tensions. And what's been protecting those muscular tensions is this personality, this ego, this narrative that we have about ourselves. So the whole idea is to just let go of the thought, let go of the mind. The mind is not there to make you happy, it's not supporting you. And go back to the body. How we do that? We breathe in a connected way. When we breathe in a connected way, what we do is we allow the flow of energy to get through the body. And what happens is it releases tensions. And what happens when those tensions start to be released? Well, emotions surface. That's why you've been witnessing people screaming, crying, releasing anger, or having orgasm, or laughing hysterically. All those like body needs to complete the cycle of trauma. It needs to have a complete release of those tensions. And the thing is, tensions, traumas, wounds are not always conscious. You have the traumas of what happened to you as a child, but then you have the traumas that you've inherited from your parents, and then you have the cultural traumas, and then the past life traumas. All this is embedded in the body, and when we're not releasing them, it's called disease. And what we are doing is bring back ease in the body. When we bring ease in the body and flow, all of a sudden we find joy. And when we find joy, there is no space for illness, there is no space for disease. We are reconnected to ourselves, in connection with others. We feel safe again in the world. Um, and of course, this is what we all want. We want to heal. We want to go back to wholeness. And guess what? The breath gets us there. I want you to understand something. Why it works, why the breath works. Okay? It's very physical, it's physiological. When we breathe in a connected way, when we breathe more than we used to, when we breathe in a pattern like this one, for instance, so a few things happen. I'm getting rid of CO2. Inhale oxygen, exhale CO2 to simplify the chemical in the breath. When we get rid of a lot of CO2, all of a sudden there is no more CO2, not enough CO2 in the body. And CO2 is an incredibly useful molecule that binds the molecule of oxygen and help them release them into the muscle. So it takes in from the blood flow and put them in throughout the body. So when we're no longer having a lot of CO2, what it happens is we don't have a lot of oxygen that gets released in the muscles, in the brain, in all the function of the body. That's why people will find tingling sensation, they would get dizzy, lightheaded, but also why all of a sudden we don't think about the future. We're not stuck in the past, we're fully present. Why? Because there is not enough oxygen going to the brain. It's very temporary and it's very safe as long as you do it laying down, you're not driving, you're not swimming. It's very important to respect those very fundamental safety measures. If you don't have any, strong medical conditions, just, look it up. But as long as you're healthy and you're just dealing with your demons and you're doing it laying down on a yoga mat and you do it progressively, it's very, very safe. Yeah, okay, it's safe, but emotions will come. Yeah, so the safety comes as well with the ability to be with yourself, be with your parts, be with the triggers. Yeah, so that's where the emotional safety comes in. That's where we need a container, an environment, people, facilitators, people who are educated on these things, who can really walk that dance, that breath with you. Yeah? So as we're breathing in a connected way, and we kind of shut down the prefrontal cortex, so we don't think, we are fully present. And when we are fully present, we create some kind of a space for all of a sudden magic to happen, going back to the self. That's really what it comes down to, going back to wholeness. When we do that, the body is finally happy. It gets to release the tensions. It also has the space to have clarity on what happened. It's such a transformational practice. So that was a quick little intro. I hope that's useful to you. I really encourage you to explore the magic of the breath. It's literally life-changing and it's easy. And all it comes down to is just pause, be with yourself, and be happy, be healthy. Thank you so much. Dhanivat. Goodbye. Merci beaucoup.